Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today is finally time for the June/July studio vlog. It's been a hot minute since I've done one because I've honestly just been really busy. So June kind of started out with a little trip up north of the island to this beautiful little taco restaurant, Sunny's Taco, or Sunny Tacos. And actually this day we went to the aquarium as well, but I didn't put that in this video because I want to do one on it by itself. But this is just trying to get some work done before my upcoming events. I have 3 events in the month of January. We have Juneteenth, the ANSA Okinawa Hotel, and Freedom Fest, which is actually for the 4th of July, but we have it the last week of June right now. I just wanted to work on these cute little mushrooms. I believe these are like a 3x3 for each one. Mushrooms are really easy for me at this point, and they're one of my favorite things to paint because I can kind of zone out just a little bit and have a really good time doing them. So I did these as kind of like a little set to sell at the upcoming markets. Here we are just finishing these up and getting them in their cute little frames. I love thrifting my frames. It is harder and harder to find the smaller ones, so I get pretty excited when I finally do. I also have friends and family from back home sending them my way when they can come across them, which is really nice. I just want to take a moment here, if you guys don't mind, to make sure you like and comment and subscribe to the channel if you're having a good time, because I definitely am. So this is the first event that I went to. It's Juneteenth, and unfortunately it was pretty rainy, and here's an example of how bad the day was. So let me tell you guys how today is going. I am currently at the Juneteenth event on Torrey Station, which is the army base kind of right below 𝍊🋼🍊🋼🍊. And my husband is currently going back to the house for me, which isn't that far away, but it's really unfortunate because it's far enough away that it's a pain in the absolute rear, because I forgot the keys to my lockbox for my money. And I can't rely on PayPal and Venmo this whole time because lots of people carry cash, and the show is still going on, but I don't know why, because it's raining and my tent is flimsy and the wind is blowing and my stuff is watercolor paintings. And sometimes you kind of have to like see the red flags and dip out before things get really bad. I should have known with the weather to back off of today, but I was trying to be really optimistic and things just kept getting worse and worse. So sorry for how everything looks. You're literally propped up on this like spinny thing that I have for all of my like shrink pins. But I guess we're gonna see how it goes. There are a lot of people here setting up, so I'm just hoping that means that there's going to be just as many people. But shout out to my husband, who is the absolute real MVP in this situation, because if I had showed up by myself and had to go back to get keys, I wouldn't be staying here because I couldn't just leave all my stuff. So I don't know what I would do without him, and in the future the spare key is gonna go in the other things that I have. So but I've got to go and empty all of the rain dropping into my tent right now, and I can't wait to see how today ends up, because if I don't at least get my $80 that I have in this, I will be second guessing any other events on this base, because this is the second time they've had something put together and it was bad weather. So like, I don't know. I mean, you can't control the weather, but like put something indoors, vendors at least, you know? Which is a shame. It would have been absolutely beautiful if today was like a nice day. So I'm holding out for the rain, but we'll see. Anyway, better luck next time, but also hopefully this one goes alright. Alright, bye guys. Truthfully, it kind of ended up being a nicer day. The clouds did break and it was nice and sunny. Unfortunately, it was extremely hot. But we did have a breeze, so it was livable, and I ended up doing not too bad. I definitely made my money back, and you know, I had some great conversations and I met a few people, and I try to look at a lot of these events as not just money making, but also workshopping and, you know, getting out of the house and things like that. So I can't say I made, you know, a decent paycheck's worth, but I didn't really lose money either, I guess. You know, you win some and you definitely lose some. So yeah, overall my sales for this one was $199. Unfortunately, it cost me $80 to do the event. It was held over from the spring event that was canceled, also from weather. So I didn't pay this a second time or anything. It was just, you know, from that first event. And if the weather was better, I really think that I would have done much better than I did, so. Sometimes you can't help that though, and neither can the event. Alright, and I just needed a couple of extra bookmarks for my next event. I wasn't sure how big it was going to be. The 𝍊🋼🍊🋼🍊 Resort is north of 𝍊🼼🍊. It's a pretty good ways up there, maybe 30 minutes. An absolutely beautiful view. I'll show you what the hotel looks like here in a minute, but I wanted to make sure I was getting a lot of these bookmarks made because they're one of my better sellers, especially when I have like a large crowd. They're a nice middle of the road price. See how beautiful this place was? And I really wanted to do this one because it was, you know, in Japan itself, and they were asking for people, and they seemed to have had their stuff together. It was a little out of the way, and when I went to sign up for things, I should have probably taken that into consideration because there was very little marketing. I definitely had this idea that because so many vendors were trying to go, that it was going to be really big, but you know, you just have to know those red flags, and I don't yet because I'm trying everything that I can. I'm doing everything that I can get my hands on for now, and I don't think that it's a waste of time, but I do wish that I had a way of knowing ahead of time, obviously, if I'm going to be wasting my time, if that makes sense. But right now, I'm just thankful to be able to be out and doing stuff, so. Really, it's not a big deal. I really loved this resort though, because not only was the place absolutely big enough to house all of us indoors, but obviously in the middle of the summer here, with the humidity and the heat, the air conditioning of this was really, really nice. It was pretty close quarters, so I got to know a few people, and that was cool. They had both local Japanese people and some familiar faces that I do events with on base. The girl next to me actually was right behind me at the Juneteenth event as well. This kind of showcases another side of things, I guess I could point out. You see how obviously that square table that my tablecloth is hanging off of, it's not my table. It's one that they provided. Thankfully, I brought my other small pop-up table because I thought when they said a 4-foot table, they meant not 4 foot by 4 foot. And I don't even think that's what size this table was, but anyway. Sometimes, you have to adapt to what the space allows you to have. Thankfully, they didn't mind that I brought an extra table. Lots of people actually did. And then, of course, because of the way my setup was, I had to figure out how to redo my banner because it wouldn't go on the front end. I need to come up with other ways of doing that. But it was a cute little hotel. The convention area that we were in was kind of small, but they had us all over the front lobby as well. This one, I think it cost me 2,200 yen, which is like around 20 bucks. And then they actually provided our meal for us also, which was a really great buffet. And then they even gave my husband a voucher for a percentage off because he had, come to help me. So that was cool. They just really needed to do some marketing, and I let them know that in an email because they asked for some feedback. It's super important that you give feedback because that's the only way that they'll know how to change things. And then for Freedom Fest, I was a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. If you've been following the channel, you probably watched the 𝑓𝑊𝋼𝑍 event, which was my spring event. I did really, really extraordinarily well at that. And this is basically the same event, but for July. So I don't know why they didn't have us set up the same way. We were tucked back behind the food trucks and nobody could see us. We got a lot of foot traffic more towards the end, right before the fireworks went off. But overall, it was just awful weather-wise until the sun finally set, and then by that point they were trying to get us to wrap up. I did okay. I definitely made my rent back and then some, but it was honestly not worth the heat that day. The only great thing that came out of it was that I met somebody who was doing a small business, a wives small business page website where she is going to list everybody out so that we are easy to find when people are looking for gifts and other things that we provide. So that was pretty cool. And she gave me a lot of pointers for some small business stuff, which I'm super appreciative of. So sometimes you just have to chalk it up to learning experience and not so much money. But like I said, I'm doing everything that I can get my hands on for now so that I can, be able to see those things in the future. Alright, so that puts me around $524 for the month of June. I only did events in June and no classes, and all those red circles are the ones that were events. And then you can see the black circled ones here are for my classes. They are just about evening out, at least for these last 2 months. And that leads us into July. So, like I just said, I did no events through July. Nothing presented itself, so I just decided I was going to work on a few pieces. And then I had somebody contact me through a cafe here. You've probably already seen it on maybe my other social media. I believe I posted a little short thing to Instagram about a cafe who wanted to have my artwork put on display there so that I could, as like a commission. She saw me at the 𝍊🋼🍊🋼🍊 Resort, which, like I said, if I didn't go to that, I would not have probably come across this lady. So I do believe working on meeting people is just as important right now in this phase of my small business. So here I am setting all of my stuff up. I painted that really cute strawberry boba because this is a coffee shop. They have delicious food. We had their funnel cake waffles. They were amazing. So I just did like a little sampling of some stuff I already had. I don't remember what threshold we talked about, but I have, like, they'll pay me as soon as I hit like a certain amount, and then we'll start all over again. So far I have not heard anything from them. I'm going to probably inquire in just a few days, but it's been really low key, which I like, and if stuff sells, cool, and if it doesn't, I'll just go pick it up at some point. It really doesn't do any harm to me. So then, like I showed you in that like June, July thing, the last part of July was nothing but getting back to doing my classes. This is where I'm actually painting September's snail class that's coming up here in a little bit. I needed to go ahead and get a few months ahead of myself so that I can be rolling out those events on time for the arts and crafts department, because they like to be able to, advertise in advance. One of the reasons that they get a percentage of my classes is because it is their job to do the marketing, and they do a great job, so I can't complain about that. That's it, you guys. This was a big 2-monther. I'll probably just stick to doing the last Thursday of every month will be a new studio vlog, since that gives me enough time to finally, put something big together that isn't just a week of me painting some of the same stuff over and over. But I appreciate you guys hanging around. We are almost to 500 subscribers, so I would love it if you guys would like and comment and share with all of your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.